I'm just going to watch them.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Marion County Hardball. We have Travis Layne here with us tonight. Travis is running for Marion County Mayor. Before we move into the interview, I want to remind everyone, please consider donating to the Marion County Messenger. The link to my coffee page is at the top of the Marion County Messenger Facebook page. All I'm asking is $1 or so, and it will really help us out. The next thing I want to mention, you might have noticed the comments are off tonight. The last interview we did, we had a lot of comments coming in, a lot of unsubstantiated information was pouring in, and I'm looking into it, but I haven't found anything. I don't think that's fair to the people that we're interviewing. So if you have a question you want to ask, a legitimate question, please send it to MarionCountyMessenger@gmail.com. I have my computer pulled up. I will see it as soon as it gets here, and if it's something we can ask, we will certainly ask it, because we do like to have legitimate questions from our audience. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Rurik and Travis.
Well, Travis, I open up always with the same thing. I admire you for what you're doing. As we saw the other night, that things can get a little bit funky, and criticism is sometimes difficult to deal with in politics, without a doubt. Would you like to refresh everyone's memory and tell them what you're about and what you're running for and all that good stuff? I know you already said mayor, but have at it.
First of all, I just want to everybody know that I'm doing this for the people. I ain't doing this for me. I think it's time that the people have their voice back. I wanted to create a program that I called Program Powerhouse, and that is give the power back to the people where it's supposed to belong. I've heard a lot of people say that the mayor is the CEO of the county. No, he's not. Or whoever gets in there is not. The CEO of the county is you, the people. It's not the mayor. It's not even the elected officials. It's the people. And a lot of you who may not know me, I am Marie Layne's husband, Travis Layne. We live in Whitwell. We've raised 4 boys, and we have 8 grandchildren. So they call me Pop Pop, so we have a fun time around my house. If you drive by, we've got a whole bunch of swing sets, a lot of stuff out in the yard. And it's a joy. It's a joy to see our kids grow up here where we grow up here. And one of the things, the reason why I'm running for county mayor is I want that to stay, the beauty that I grew up in. A lot of people talks about how they go to the beach and they love the ocean and everything. I've been to the ocean, but there's a great feeling when I turn that car around and I start heading back to Tennessee. And I come back to Marion County where I belong. And just to see the mountains, especially in the fall when they change colors, and just to see all the beauty that there is here. So,
well, considering since we spoke about what happened in another interview that we had, that the county right now obviously is not unified. So give us some ideas of what you're thinking about, first addressing maybe why it's happening, and at the same time what you think could potentially be the cure.
Well, maybe we need to do like a lot of parents do when their kids get into it. Let's put them in a get along shirt and set them in the corner until they hug and get along.
Well, no hugging now. No.
Yeah, no, good. But, I think what we should do, and I recommend that we all come together. We all have talents and we all have different things. We're all unique ourselves. No 2 of us is the same. And the good Lord made us that way. We're all different. We all have different opinions. We all have different ideals. And if you're going to make something to work, you've got to come together. You can't be divided. I think we've seen enough division in this country as it is. Am I right? I mean, this is getting out of hand. So we need to come together. And anything, I'm going to tell you something. Facebook is a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing. Because people don't think before they start typing. And there's a lot of things mistook the wrong way. That's the reason why the Lord gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Sometimes we need to keep our mouth shut and our ears open and listening more. And that's a good way to get started. We have to come to the table together. If we're going to solve any problems, if we're going to solve any issues, we've got to sit at that table together. It's no longer that we need to accuse this one of that one or accuse this one of doing this. Hey, look, let's look past that and let's get to where we can fix the issues for the people of the county. It's time to stop the bickering back and forth.
Well, it is a political season.
It is. And politics can be ugly.
Yes, it can, without a doubt. So some of the ideas that you might have that, I know you're very big in autism because I've heard you before with that, but what's some of your plans that you have that you're wanting to move forward if you become mayor?
Well, one of the things, and I have to give Corey Blevins something because he said something the other night, this is 2026. And we need to make sure that our meetings are recorded right. And what people say is recorded by what they said instead of having it wrote down. So what he said that we need to move, and that's where I've always said about to get into the future, we need to use what technology we have and the talents that we have and the people that we have to do it. So one of the things I want to see more of is that we're being more transparent, where we let people know ahead of time who's involved, what we're going to be talking about before we do it. That's what transparency means. It doesn't mean after the fact, it means before the fact.
Sure.
And I think that's what we need to do. We need to use the TV screens that we have and let everybody see what we're talking about. If we're talking about a budget or we're talking about whatever, hey, well, let's have the graphs up there. Let's break it down. Let's let it be known, hey, this is where it is, this is what, and we can use all that.
Yeah, and like you said, we already have a lot of stuff. For instance, the TV screens, like you're saying.
Yeah, we have that stuff. Why can't we just utilize that for the benefit of the county?
Yeah, kind of a great idea as far as what Corey Blevins is saying about, being that we can take voice to text. Because I know I can't hear myself half the time. I don't want to hear myself, but if you were in the crowd sitting in back and you can't hear what's going on, you had the screen up there, you obviously could tether the TV so that when we're talking, it's coming up in text on the TV so everyone can not miss anything. Plus they can go back and see it again. What else you got in your bag? Well,
you mentioned autism, and our grandson, Brenton, he's autistic. And back last year, we had come up with something, or my wife did. I'll give her all the credit for it. She did. When he was little, when he was go to the refrigerator, she had put little pictures of different things on there, like me and her, or drinks, or chicken nuggets, because he loved chicken nuggets and fries. So that way, when he went up there, because he's nonverbal, and he would point to what he wanted. And that came across when his parents was taking him to the parks and stuff. There was nothing there, and children didn't understand why he was nonverbal, and it made it hard for him. He felt left out. So our family came up with the idea, hey, why can't we take those pictures and move it to the next level? And that's how the idea of the project, A Voice for the Voiceless, started. Was, hey, let's go and do this. Let's put these communication boards in the parks. And listen, folks, I don't care what people say about our government, local government and stuff, but I called, got on the agenda, pitched the idea, and every local city and town, and even our Marion County government itself and the school board, all was on the board with this. And if you drive around some of the parks now, you'll see the communication boards.
I heard you last night talk of housing, and that we're potentially going to have a problem in having affordable housing. So give me some of your thoughts on that.
Well, about 4 years ago, I ran for mayor about 4 years ago. And I said then, because on the job where I work at, I seen this happen in Hamilton County. I seen the explosion started back in 2020. And I seen then how a lot of rapid growth in the housing market started. I seen how they were moving into, developers were moving in these small areas, and some of the people who was there, once they built these big, nice houses, they couldn't afford their property taxes. So they were having to sell and move out. And I said then, if we don't come up with some kind of plan in the next 5 or 6 years, Marion County is going to be the same way, because everybody wants to live at least 35 to 40 minutes away from the city.
Yeah, that was an incredible number. 7,000 people have to commute. That's incredible.
Got a question about that. Where did that number come from? Who made that number?
No idea.
I forgot who said it.
I've forgotten who said it as well. I don't remember. But
I'm guilty. I'm guilty of the same thing.
Is there any data on that?
The person that said it came from the county. It was a county number, but I haven't looked at
That's right.
How did they come up with the data that 7,000 people was leaving? I guess I'm one of those 7,000 because I leave every day. But I didn't leave the county. I left the county because I wanted to do something different. I went out to find a job over in Chattanooga to do something different from what I was doing. And I got more experience with it because I'm the yard manager. So that gave me more experience. And I'll just touch on this since I said that. A lot of people has asked me about my qualifications. Well, you know, when you're at your job or something, they post a job, you know, on that job posting, they put up what the job is, what the qualifications is. Well, you'll look at that qualification, know if you're qualified or not to get the job, you know. So I went to the state of Tennessee website and see what the qualification was for county mayor. I looked at them and you know what? I meet all those qualifications. Now, is it somebody's opinion of how they think that I should be qualified? Just let me know, because I get that question all the time about, hey, what's your qualifications? What's your qualifications? And I answer it. Anytime you go through and anybody says, I always answer them. I always make sure that, because they are the people. And if I'm running for a county office, I should be able enough to answer questions.
Oh, sure.
And I try to answer them the best. Now, do I know everything that's happening in the county right now, like on the government level? No, I don't. I'll tell you that. But I'm going to tell you something. I do know a little about stuff. I've been going to all the meetings and stuff, and you know that. I've been there. Not only have I gone to the county meetings, I also go to the city meetings, because I think that we ought to all come together. You know, it's just not just the county. We got all the cities and towns. I want to know what's going on in the cities and towns.
Let's circle back to the affordable housing.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think would be the way you would want to go forward?
Well, I think first we need to get with the state and see what kind of programs or grants that they have to help with affordable housing. What you have to understand is this is not just a Marion County problem. It's a problem across the country. As we move into the future, and as more people has bigger families, this is a problem that you're going to have, and you've got to get ahead of it, or you're going to be left behind. Now, is there an easy answer for it? No, there's not. This is, again, where we all have to come to the table and sit down and go, okay, what is some solutions? What solutions do we have? You know, to fight this problem, what are the solutions? And you pick one out of those solutions. And then you come together and say, okay, this is our plan. This is going. You know, a good plan is better than a perfect plan that is never executed.
That's good. I like that. That's very good.
I have a question kind of keys off of that. You talked about the beauty of the mountains. You're right. It's absolutely gorgeous here. There are people that would develop every inch. And there will be a demand to develop every inch, and you'll be able to sell every inch. So how do you want to go about preventing that from happening, or do you want it to happen because it will make the housing more affordable? But is there a balancing point for you between development and natural beauty?
Well, there have to be a balancing point for all of us. I mean, it's not just for me, but all of us. I mean, most of the land now that's being developed was once hunting land, and a lot of people got mad over that. You know, do I have the quick answer for you? No, I don't. But we need to sit and look at what can we do, have the state come in with us, and let's look and sit down and look what we can come up with about this. You know, I can't tell you what the perfect answer is. And let me tell you, if there was an answer, it was done already been in place, right? I mean, this has been going on for years. So, you know, me being a candidate, you know, I also look at my elected officials and goes, what's being done right now to do this?
Well, I guess that runs us into the next topic when we get into the Planning Commission. How would you craft up your Planning Commission?
Well, you know, the mayor does not have to be the chairperson of the Planning Commission. I said that the other night in a meeting, and I had one person who kind of tried to argue that fact with me, but I had looked at the state law. I knew what it said, you know. So, you know, the people that's on the Planning Commission now, I've assumed they're doing a good job of what they go by. I don't know their statutes, and I don't know what their rules are. And I think that's where that starts. Let's see what the statutes and the rules are, and then we go from there.
This is another Planning Commission questions from Joy Blevins. Do you think the Planning Commission has any input on affordable housing, and if so, how can you influence the decisions they make?
Again, I'm not sitting on the Planning Commission. I don't know if they have any influence or not on it. But if they do, you know, that'd be something that we can look at. Let's look at, see what they say. But again, I'm not on the Planning Commission.
Right. And we would have, if it was the incumbent or the existing mayor, of course we would be our questions would be a lot deeper. So I totally respect what you're saying. Also, so that no one gets confused, Mr. Blevins is one of our contributors.
Yes.
So that's why we took a question from him. Okay.
I know Mr. Blevins.
Yeah. Oh, he told me to say hello.
Hello, Joey.
Anyhow, so, all right, well, and I get what you're saying. So when you get there, you'll have a better understanding of the landscape, so you know what to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're looking at me as the candidate who has never been in that position.
Sure.
You know, and the only way I'm going to do is when I get in there, I'll learn what the ins and outs of it is. You know, and again, some people might be saying, well, he don't know anything. Well, that's not totally true. I do know some stuff. But it's just like you start a new job. You're looking at it from a new set of eyes, a new perspective. You know, I'm going in and looking at this and saying, okay, what will work, what will not work? It's not about me. It's not my ideals. It's the people's ideals. And I think, again, we need to get input, just like on the Planning Commission. We need to get input from the people. How do the people? Let's take this to the people. What do they think? It's the people's county, not nobody else's.
Well, and I heard your, when you were speaking at ORM, you know, what your intentions are about trying to get maybe monthly. I think you said something about monthly being able to go to a different district and potentially also working with mayors, because I was surprised to hear that there's not a lot of interface with all the city mayors. And I don't know if that's true or not. That was what was said. That's
what I heard. So I'm not going to say that if it's true or not. My plan is if I'm elected mayor, is I want to have district town hall meetings. And what I mean by that is that I want to pick a district every month, and the commissioners of that district, along with myself, will come to you, the people of that district, and we want to hear your thoughts, your concerns, or any issues that you may be facing. I think that this would help, you know, when we have the public comment section on the agenda on the county commission. I think this would also help a little bit of getting that through, where you're not just limited to 3 minutes. If we come to you, you'll be able enough to talk and let us hear what you, because I think as a public official, you are a servant to the people.
I agree. Is there something else that you'd like to cover? Well, you've got a captive audience.
I think it's time that we listen to who puts us in office. I think so many times, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I think that if you're going to pick leaders this go around, make sure that you pick leaders that are positive, that has a positive attitude and a positive mindset. A leader is someone who puts everybody else first, not himself. Okay. And if we're going to pick somebody, let's make sure that that person, when you go into these meetings, that person controls the weather. If you have somebody with a negative attitude or a negative mindset, you're going to have chaos. It's going to be chaos the whole time. That's why we need to get back to a positive mind and positive attitudes.
So you're a unifier, not a divider.
Right. I don't think anybody should be a divider. I think we should all come together. And there may be somebody out there saying, oh, he's just saying that. No, I'm not. Go ask anybody I work with or anybody at church. I'm the same person at church. I'm the same person at work. I'm the same person you meet at Walmart as I am right now. Okay. I feel deeply about this county. I was raised here. And I'm not saying that if anybody else, I welcome everybody in here because this county is a beautiful county. And they can enjoy it just like we enjoy it. You know, fishing down on the rivers or stuff like that, you know, or going hunting. I don't do a lot of hunting, but, you know, I more or less raise chickens, ducks, turkeys, and things. And I've had somebody ask me, says, well, how your campaign going? I said, well, since I raise chickens and I hatch chickens and stuff, I said, I don't count my chickens until they hatch. So I'm the type of person who I'm going to be like I'm running behind. So that way, you know, it makes me work harder. It gives me motivation. And you know, this is, I just love this county.
Okay.
And if you love something, you don't run it down. You don't punish it. You protect it. You fight for it. You fight for the people.
Okay.
This is my home. And everybody in it is my family. I will treat them just like I treat my family. And I just want to say this. You know, the county mayor, I have respect for him. And any time I see him, I'm going to always shake his hand. And me and him did a debate back in 2022. The best debate I seen. Because that probably was our debate and I was in it. But you know what? Hey, we sat there and did that debate. We got up after we got done, shook hands. When the night of the election happened and he was declared the winner, I got up, walked right over there. I congratulated him and shook his hands. And that's the way it should be. Back in the day, and I know some of you remember this, back in the day, the election commission was over where they got the parking lot at now. And it used to be the juvenile court was part of the election commission. During election years, oh man, that whole corner would be just full of people. Democrat, Republicans, we were all the same. We would go out there, we would shake hands. We would all get along. Even after the results, we'd still shake hands, and they would stay there for hours just talking about stuff. We need to get back to that. That's what we're missing.
Well, that's Travis Layne, candidate for mayor.
Travis Layne, thank you so much for coming on, Travis. And I want to remind everybody, go to the top of the page and make a donation to my coffee. And we're going to take a break to reset the microphones. Please stay on Facebook. We'll be back inside of 5 minutes with Sherry Layne.